Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Recently, myself and my fiance viewed our very first wedding venue, and although it was obviously very exciting, we also did find it a little bit daunting, especially with it being our very first venue that we had looked around. We weren't really sure what to expect, and to be honest, that's perfectly okay because there's a lot to think about and take into consideration when looking at different wedding venues. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what we did in order to prepare ourselves for our first wedding venue viewing. And I'll also be throwing in some advice and things that we personally found helpful when looking around our first venue. So first off, I want to say that when people get engaged, you're either the kind of people who want to get straight stuck into planning the wedding, or you're the kind of people who want to chill and enjoy the engagement a little bit prior to starting to sort out wedding stuff. Myself and my partner are both very organised people, so we're the kind of people who wanted to get straight stuck into planning things. But either way, no matter what, you really don't want to rush straight into looking at wedding venues, as there are things that need to be considered prior to doing this. Before you go to view any venues, you usually need to know the basics of what you want for your wedding planned out. It usually helps to know roughly how many people you're planning on attending the wedding, whether you want your ceremony and reception to be at the same venue, if that's possible, or whether you want them at separate locations, whether you want a disco afterwards, and some venues even wanted to know the date that you have in mind for the actual wedding. Now, of course, I wouldn't worry too much about getting these kinds of details completely set in stone just yet. Things can and will change when it comes to planning a wedding. But in order to book a venue and to get a good idea of pricing and your requirements, the venue needs a really pretty good idea of just the basic wedding elements that you want. So I would hold back viewing any venues until you have those rough details in check. Something which the venue we looked at offered, which we found very, very helpful, was having the ability to provisionally reserve your chosen wedding date free of charge for up to 10 days. Now, this is obviously something that not every single wedding venue offers, but it was very valuable to us as it allowed us to reserve a date for our wedding but not fully commit to it for 10 days. It gave us a little bit more time to contact other venues, have a talk about things, maybe view some other venues, and come to a final decision in a much more relaxed way, as we didn't fear that our preferred wedding date would be taken during this time. The biggest ways in which me and my partner prepared ourselves was asking the wedding coordinator at the venue questions and doing our own research. We looked online at what to expect during a wedding show around. We looked in more detail at the website for the venue. We looked into the types of questions we should be asking during the show round. And we actually also had a list of questions prepared prior to attending the show round. We also took with us our wedding planner, a pen, and things to just write notes down with. All of those things are really simple and in some ways kind of obvious, but I definitely think that they are essential to making sure that you get the most out of the viewing. The types of questions that you would ask depend on the venue and what they're offering you and how you want your wedding. So perhaps writing up a separate question list for each different venue that you're wanting to visit would be a good idea to do. Make sure to take your time during the appointment. You really want to soak up the atmosphere, the environment, and you obviously need to try to picture yourself getting married there. Take into account how you feel at the venue and what the venue can offer. Is having your wedding there feasible? Can the venue offer exactly what you need, or will you have to try to compromise a little bit? And also try to keep a level head. And I say this because sometimes the excitement of viewing your first possible wedding venue can lead to making some very rushed big decisions. Before taking any big steps in terms of the venue, take some time to gather and collect your thoughts with your partner, have a talk with them, and just be honest about your thoughts on the venue. After all, this has to be right for the both of you. However, saying that, love at first sight with your first wedding venue viewing is a possibility, so be prepared for that. Sometimes you'll just get a feeling in your stomach that a particular venue is special, regardless if it's your last or first viewing. But I think you have to be prepared to either unexpectedly love a venue or unexpectedly hate a venue. Sometimes venues will surprise you, and that surprise can either be a good one or a bad one. For example, we personally really like the look of a certain venue, however, their booking policy completely put us off when we began requesting more details about the venue. Look into all the details for venues, from the bigger details to the smaller ones. Something may be hiding in the terms and conditions, the small print, or the booking requirements that could possibly be a deal breaker for you and your partner. Take some pictures and videos of the venue during your show round so that you can refer back to them if needed. And of course, so you can show those who weren't able to attend the viewing some pictures and videos of the venue. And the main thing is just try to relax and just enjoy the process of looking at wedding venues. This is a very exciting time for you. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you can think of any other bits of advice that I've missed out, or you could let us know how you prepared yourselves for your first wedding venue viewing in the comment section down below. Good luck with finding your wedding venue. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope to see you in my next video.